Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me for another video. Today we're going to be talking about how I tried to wake up at 5 AM every day for a week. I really enjoy doing these challenges because it makes me feel like I'm actually pushing myself to try and do stuff that I have been talking about for a while but never seem to get around to doing. And I've been seeing a lot of people do these types of videos over the last kind of month or so. So I thought, you know what? Now's the time to just do it. So I thought I would bring you along with me to show you how I'm doing, how it went, the good things, the bad things, and yeah, all of that fun stuff. So anyway, let's just get straight into it, shall we? This time, I'm not going to say grab a tea, because I'm quite tired. So grab a cup of coffee, or beverage of your choice, of course. And let's get straight into the video.
Take me in your arms, do just what you want. You're the one I trust. I belong to you, and I'll always be around when I need some loving, baby.
Okay, so it was a little harder than I thought it was going to be, but that's mainly because I kind of dove straight into it without really like weaning myself into the early hours. Even though for the past month I have been trying to wake up earlier, 5 AM is a whole new level of early, because it's one of those things where you're like 4:59, that's the middle of the night, that is the middle of the night. But 5 AM just about makes it to the morning, I think. So day one I think was inevitably going to be the easiest day, because you go to sleep and you're quite excited because it's a challenge, even though you're like, it's a challenge to wake up early, but it's still exciting in some ways because you're like, what could the day ahead hold? Will I actually wake up? Will this be the first battle of the next day that I will win and make me into this superhuman for the next week? You also think about all those possibilities of what comes with waking up earlier. You're going to be one of those morning people that is just sunny and happy all the time. Well, that's what I hoped anyway, so let's have a look. But of course I did know that it was going to be hard, so I came up with a routine for the mornings to try and get me up and have the first thing to do, so I wasn't like, oh hello 5 AM, now what do I do, you know? Because otherwise I'd be like, and I'd just literally fall back asleep if I was gonna do that. So I decided to come up with a routine to help me when I wake up to just immediately get up, turn off my alarm, switch on my light, either get dressed and go straight to the gym and then obviously come back and shower and have breakfast and stuff, or if I'm not going to the gym that morning, then to also not just go to the gym but to have a class to go to, because if there's no like consequences for not going, i.e. the shame of a no-show at a class, then I thought, it's going to be a bit harder. I'm not going to have that will and motivation quite yet to get myself up to go and do independent workout. But on the days that I wasn't going to do that, then I decided that I would wake up, I'd make some coffee, do something I actually really enjoyed first thing, and then have a shower, sit down and write a to-do list to make sure that actually that day was going to be productive and there would be a point to waking up early, rather than just waking up early to sit down and watch YouTube videos all day, which I did maybe one day, maybe. So the first day I was actually amazed at how much stuff I got done, and it's one of those really stupid cliche things where you're like, oh my god, I can't believe I got so much done today and it's only 12 o'clock, and you feel really like smug with yourself, and you become one of those annoying people, I'm not gonna lie. But that's only because it's the first day and you're really amazed at how productive you've been and how awake you feel, and you're like, oh my, it's like I've had 10 cups of coffee because I'm just so awake and so happy. Yeah, that's how I was on the first day, and people didn't love to be around me, I won't lie. No, I'm joking. You are I was much sort of like sunnier and like happier, and yeah, I was just so motivated and just could not believe that I was getting up, and I was like, yeah, this is the best thing ever. I wrote my to-do list and very smugly it ticked everything off for that day. That was a massive win, I tell you. I woke up at 5 AM today. I'm already tired. And to be honest, the same could be said for day two. Day two I thought was actually going to be much harder to wake up, but because I was pretty tired from the first day, I went to bed quite early, sort of like 10 o'clock at night, and I really just completely zonked out and fell straight asleep. So day two was pretty much like the first one. Again, I was amazed at how much work I got done, how much more productive I was, how much time I had to spare. But day three, man, day three was hard. Okay, I like getting up at 5, I like it, but it doesn't get any easier, I'm not gonna lie. Every time I wake up, I think, today's the day that it's gonna feel right. But it still doesn't. I literally have to get up as soon as my alarm goes off, turn on the light, splash cold water on my face, turn off my alarm, probably not in that order, just for me to think that, you know, I'm awake. And one of the good things is I do tend to go straight to the gym, and I live on a hill and I cycle there, and it's cold. So it's like being woken up with a fresh bucket of iced wind in your face, but it helps to wake you up. I find that if I'm busy throughout the day, then I don't get so tired, but you'd think it'd get easier to wake up at 5 AM. Not yet, my friends. Not yet. I feel like day 3 is where your body starts to be like, what are you doing to me? I'm so tired. We're not used to this. So that was mentally quite hard. When the alarm went off in the morning, my natural reaction was to be like, snooze, I must snooze. But I knew if I snoozed that would just keep snoozing. And so I thought, I've just got to get up. I've got to go and see how it's going. Just got to see if I can make it out. And so obviously tactfully, day 3, I made sure I booked a class that I had to go to at my gym so that I would in fact get up. I had far less motivation though on day 3 because, as I said, my body was catching up with me on those kind of on the 3rd day of waking up early because my body's not used to waking up at 5 AM, seriously. And I even had to take a little nap later, but it sorted me out. I took an hour nap, I think, which probably is not like a good amount of time, but I decided that it was much better to take a nap than to like sit in a zombie-like state and just do nothing for hours. So day 3 was a little bit of a write-off, but at the same time, I was still proud that I managed to get up in the morning and actually go to the gym, even if I didn't do that much for the rest of the day. I did do some work, didn't do that much though. I didn't really stick to my routine. I made a coffee and then sat on the sofa and watched those YouTube videos I said that I shouldn't do. But again, day 4 was a revelation. Because day 3 had been a bit of a write-off, day 4 ended up being one of those days where you're like, oh my god, I know how to do life today. I know how to do it. And I also, by day 4, I'd already learned a lot about myself. So I'd learned things like, if I snooze, that is already the first battle lost of the day, and I will not be as productive as if I just simply get up. Because if you get up straight away, then you're in that mindset of like, yes, I am going to rule this day and it's going to be amazing. But if I snooze, I'm like, no. I honestly feel like a superwoman. I feel like I can get up and I can smash my workout and I can have a really great time and it be actually enjoyable rather than miserable because it's so early. And working out in the morning, I realized actually sets me up much better for the day than if I work out later, but only if I have enough time to get all of my work done in the morning and I have like loads to do, will I then work out later in the day. But I so much prefer working out in the morning, which I didn't think was a thing. I thought I'd feel sick and I'd be a bit like, I don't want to do high intensity training at 5 or 6 AM in the morning. That's gross, but turns out makes you feel amazing. Well, it makes me feel amazing. It may make you feel like, well, just terrible. It really might make you feel terrible. And honestly, when I don't snooze, I get the bulk of my work done by about 11 AM, which makes me again feel like, oh my god, I now have suddenly so much more time in the day to go and do other things. I can't remember the last time I felt like during the day I had time to go and do other things that weren't like work related or working out or like preparing for another video or for any of the like low impact stuff I'm doing or any brand or client work I'm doing. Suddenly I was able to just like slow down and breathe and realize I actually have time and I am actually now in control of that time. By day 5, I felt immensely proud of myself for being able to wake up in the morning. And I know this might sound ridiculous to you, but being able to consistently do something 5 days in a row at the same time, for me, honestly, is unheard of. I was so proud of myself that it just put me in a good mood for the whole rest of the day. And it really made me realize that winning that first battle in the morning set a massive precedent for the rest of the day. and it meant that I was going to be far more productive, far more happy, and kind of more content, and my mood and my sort of energy level was going to be a lot more kind of consistent, because I'd already sort of set that tone, I think, for the rest of the day, which usually I do not do at all. I do not set a very good tone at all, and I kind of like roll out of bed still in my pajamas and just start work straight away like a little gremlin sitting behind a computer, which I don't recommend because that's not healthy, I don't think. And honestly, like having my overall mood be a lot better just made me more excited and also nicer to be around and made me excited to actually do my work, because I was like, yeah, I'm getting stuff done, this is really exciting and this is way better, and people are going to be so much more like happy with me for doing stuff on time and getting it done, or even like earlier than I should have. And day 5, it was a good day. Hell of a lot better than day 3, I tell you that. And honestly, one of the biggest benefits that I found from waking up earlier is my room tended to be generally more tidy. The correlation just put me in a more productive mood, and every time I would put something down I'd be like, that doesn't go there, and I'd put it away instead. Honestly, getting up early turned me into a bit of a annoying, smuggy person, but I'm trying to be proud of myself for actually doing something consistently, and having a much generally more tidy room allowed me to be more productive, because when I have lots of clutter around me, it makes my head just explode, because it makes me feel like I can't do anything because there's other stuff to do, and then I just don't do anything. So having a tidy room, because I was more productive, because I had more time, because I got up earlier, was so much better. So day 6. Day 6 was when my kind of workouts started to feel like I was improving, even though they might seem really, really, really minor to you. I've had so many goals in my mind for like all the CrossFit stuff that I do, and just thinking, I want to get it done. I want to, fit in and schedule these things in, and I just really wasn't finding the time to do it, because I'd be like, I've got too much work to do. I've already made this commitment to go to my friends to do this or that. And by the 6th day, I was actually scheduling in my time to do specific workouts to enable me to reach those goals. Even though it had only been obviously 6 days, I could still see like wonderful but minor kind of adjustments that had actually got me that tiny step further to my goal, and it put me again in such a good mood. Having the time to schedule in the things that you really enjoy, and for me that is CrossFit, it makes a massive difference to your day, and it makes a massive difference to your week. And I feel like it allows me to enjoy my work more, because I also have time to do the other things that I really, really enjoy as well. And now day 7, I actually woke up 1 minute before my alarm, and I was kind of like happy about it, but also like, it's 4:59, it's the middle of the night, why am I awake? But then obviously at 10:05 a.m. my alarm went off, and I thought, it's the morning now, and then I was in a good mood. But it is weird how your body can adjust to things, even though it's kind of a bit of an emotional roller coaster, because you're like, it's so early, but it's still dark outside. But then those first few hours of the morning when nobody else is awake, it just gives you that time completely to yourself to have some kind of like clarity and do some work, or go and do your workout, have your coffee, just do something either in silence or just listening to something that is just for you, and you don't have any disturbance. It's kind of like that do not disturb time that you kind of put into your day if you're trying to make sure that you get some mindful things done or whatever. But it allowed me just to kind of sit and do things and think about things. And actually that was a time in the morning when I was able to have my kind of best ideas for thinking about videos or campaigns or anything like that, because I had no distractions, and I just had and allowed myself to have that time, that quiet time to think. And it was really quite amazing, especially in the mornings when I went to the gym. I would cycle, and I live on a hill. Cycling as well, because it's so quiet at that time in the morning, it just allows you to have either no thoughts or whatever thoughts you want, or just to think and be mindful and be present about what you're doing, where you're about to go, and thinking about the rest of the day and what you want to kind of achieve. So will I continue to get up at 5 a.m? Well, I hope so. Probably on most days, hopefully every day of the work week, but probably not at the weekends. Allow myself at least a couple of hours to sleep in. But I definitely have seen improvements that make it feel worth it. And I think over time my body will eventually get used to it, and it won't be such a big issue to wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning. I really enjoyed it, even though it was painful at times, and day 3, whew, it was a tough one, I promise you. But I really encourage you to try and do something similar to this. Even if you don't want to get up at 5 a.m. in the morning, you just wanted to watch this kind of video, why not pick something that you really want to do and just try and start it and try and do it. That's how I approached this. I just thought, do you know what, tomorrow I'm just going to get up at 5 a.m. and I'm going to see if I can make it the whole week. I just thought, let's talk about tomorrow, but let's not think about the rest of the week. Let's just see how it goes. And sometimes that for me is the best policy. And 2019 is coming up really, really, really quickly. I can't believe that this year is almost over. So what are you going to be doing in 2019? Are you going to be thinking about how to get up earlier? Are you going to be thinking about goals you want to achieve for the rest of the year? I will be talking about my kind of New Year's resolutions in the next couple of weeks before the new year, so definitely tune in to watch that. And yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe and comment if you have tried to get up this early, or you have to get up this early for work, or you have children, and how you kind of motivate yourself as well to get up early every single day. So thank you so much for watching. I know this is a long video, but I really hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much to all my patrons over on Patreon for supporting me and supporting this channel. And yeah, I will see you guys actually on Sunday for a Sunday special. So see you then, guys. Bye. I hope you enjoyed your coffee, because I certainly did.